Hello students, our today's topic is respiration. It includes cellular respiration, respiration in plants, difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and difference between photosynthesis and respiration. So what is respiration? Respiration is a process in which glucose is broken down with the help of oxygen and energy is released along with the production of carbon dioxide and water. There are two stages of respiration. One is called external or breathing, and another stage is called internal respiration or cellular respiration. Now, cellular respiration is of two types, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic means oxygen is required, and in anaerobic, oxygen is not required. Both of these processes, aerobic and anaerobic, start with a process called glycolysis. Or you can say it is a common pathway for aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Then, what is aerobic respiration? The process of respiration that takes place in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. In this process, glucose, which is a 6-carbon molecule, is broken down into pyruvate, a 3-carbon molecule. And this process takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell. Then, in the mitochondria, the pyruvate that is formed during glycolysis is broken down into 3 molecules of carbon dioxide and water with a lot of energy. Each glucose molecule forms 2 pyruvate molecules and each pyruvate molecule forms 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. So a total of 6 molecules of carbon dioxide are produced during the process and 6 molecules of water with the release of energy. And the energy that is released during the process of respiration is stored in the form of ATP in the mitochondria of the cell. ATP is made from ADP. ATP, the full form is adenosine triphosphate, and the full form of ADP is adenosine diphosphate. So ATP is made from ATP and inorganic phosphate with the help of energy released during respiration. Now, what is the role of mitochondria in the process of respiration? So mitochondria helps in the production of energy currency of the cell, or the energy is stored in mitochondria since the breakdown of pyruvate to carbon dioxide takes place inside mitochondria. So the energy that is produced during the process is stored inside this mitochondria. And it also helps in the regulation of cellular metabolism. Now the second type of respiration is anaerobic respiration. N signifies absence. So this type of respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. But it can be a lack of oxygen. So due to lack of oxygen in our muscle cells, especially during exercise, pyruvate converts into lactic acid with the release of energy. First step is the same. Glucose breaks into pyruvate and then pyruvate is converted to lactic acid. And this causes muscle cramps in human beings. Another type of anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. This process takes place in yeast cells, or during fermentation process. In this process, glucose is first broken down into pyruvate, and pyruvate is then converted to ethanol, which is a 2-carbon molecule, and carbon dioxide. So here pyruvate is incompletely broken down into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So less amount of energy is produced in this process. This picture shows the different pathways of glucose breakdown. Glucose, which is a 6-carbon molecule, breaks into 2 molecules of pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon molecule, along with the release of some energy inside the cytoplasm of the cell. And this process of breakdown of glucose to pyruvate is called glycolysis. Glycolysis, breakdown of glucose. Glyco means glucose and lysis means breakdown. And this process takes place in cytoplasm. This process is common, or this step is common for both aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. So first of all, we will see what happens in the absence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration, that is taking place in yeast. So after pyruvate, this process continues in the cytoplasm of yeast, and ethanol and carbon dioxide are produced with small amount of energy. Then the second pathway is with lack of oxygen, which takes place in our muscle cells. In this process, lactic acid is produced along with some energy. And the third pathway is taking place in presence of oxygen, which takes place in mitochondria of cell, eukaryotic cells. In this process, glucose is completely broken down or oxidized into carbon dioxide, water, and a huge amount of energy. Now, our next topic is respiration in plants. Do plants breathe? Yes. Like animals and humans, plants also breathe. They also require oxygen for respiration and give out carbon dioxide in the process. But they do not have any specialized structures for gaseous exchange. And they perform the process of respiration with the help of stomata that are present in leaves, lenticels which are present in stem. And these two structures are present or involved in exchange of gases. But since they do not have any specialized structures, they respire at a very low rate. Roots also help in exchange of gases in plants. So, stomata present in leaves, lenticels present in stems, and root hairs help in the exchange of gases in plants. So, in this picture you can see that the roots help in respiration in plants. Roots, which are the underground part of the plants, they absorb air from the air spaces present between the soil particles. These are the air spaces which are present in between the soil particles, and they have air in them. So the oxygen that is absorbed through the roots are used to release energy, which is later on utilized for transportation of minerals and salts from the soil. Next, respiration in stems. In stems, you can see these tiny pores. These pores are the lenticels present on bark of a tree or a stem. These structures help in gaseous exchange by diffusion. This slide shows respiration in leaves. How leaves help in respiration in plants. So leaves have tiny pores called stomata, and gases are exchanged through these stomata by the process of diffusion. So you all know that stomata have guard cells. So guard cells open and close. In this way, the stomatal pores open and close, and they help in exchange of gases between the atmosphere and the interior of the leaves. This slide shows the difference between stomata and lenticels. Stomata are minute pores in the epidermis of leaf or stem of young plants, which help in movement of gases. Lenticels are the pores in the stem of woody plant or trees. They also help in exchange of gases. Stomata are mainly found in the lower epidermis of the leaf. Lenticels are found in the periderms of or outer layer of woody trunk or the stem. Stomata are found in primary growth in young plants, and lenticels develop during the secondary growth. They open based on the requirement of the plant, while lenticels remain open. In stomata, guard cells are present. They determine the size of the stomatal pore. Lenticels do not have guard cells. Stomata also help in transpiration, and a large amount of water vapor is released through stomata of leaves, while lenticels transpire a small amount of water vapor. Now, what is the mechanism of respiration in plants? So, we have studied that plants exchange gases through stomata that are present in leaves, root hairs, and lenticels present in stem. So, plant cells, they have large spaces between their cells. They are all in contact with air. So, carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged by the process of diffusion in plants. Diffusion is directed by environmental conditions and the requirement of the plant. During night, when there is no photosynthesis, plants also release carbon dioxide, and the carbon dioxide is not utilized by the plants during night, so they release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, while during daytime carbon dioxide is utilized by the plants in the process of photosynthesis. So whatever carbon dioxide is released out by the plants during the process of respiration, it is used up by the plants for photosynthesis, and in daytime oxygen is released instead of carbon dioxide. This slide shows difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration occurs in all living cells of higher plants, whereas anaerobic respiration occurs in bacteria, certain fungi, germinating seeds, and fleshy fruits or mussels. We have seen that due to lack of oxygen, our muscles produce lactic acid. So that is a type of anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, oxygen is required, and in anaerobic respiration, oxygen is not required. The end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and water, and the end products of anaerobic respiration are alcohol, that is ethyl alcohol, or lactic acid and carbon dioxide. In aerobic respiration, a large amount of energy, that is 38 ATP molecules of energy, are produced. and in anaerobic respiration only 2 molecules of ATP are produced. In aerobic respiration, after glycolysis, the reactions take place inside mitochondria. In anaerobic respiration, the whole process takes place in cytoplasm of the cell. In aerobic respiration, all the compounds or the substrate is completely oxidized and high amount of energy is released. Whereas in anaerobic respiration, the organic compounds are incompletely oxidized and very small amount of energy is released. Aerobic respiration is non-toxic to plants, whereas anaerobic respiration is toxic to higher plants. This slide shows the difference between respiration and photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, you have studied earlier, it occurs only in plants and some photosynthetic bacteria, whereas respiration occurs in all living organisms. Photosynthesis takes place in the presence of sunlight and respiration takes place throughout the day. Photosynthesis occurs in chloroplast and is a light-dependent process. Aerobic respiration occurs in cytoplasm and mitochondria and it is not independent of or independent of, it is independent of light. The raw materials of photosynthesis are carbon dioxide and water, whereas the raw material or the substrates in respiration are organic substances and oxygen. In photosynthesis, light energy is converted to chemical energy, which helps in the synthesis of carbohydrates. In respiration, chemical energy that is stored in the carbohydrates during the process of photosynthesis is released out. In photosynthesis, oxygen is liberated and carbon dioxide is utilized, whereas in respiration, oxygen is utilized and carbon dioxide is released. In this picture, you can see that plants using this light energy in the process of photosynthesis and they are preparing glucose and releasing oxygen, which is utilized in the process of respiration as substrate, and again carbon dioxide and water are released out during the process of respiration, which are utilized by the plants during photosynthesis. So photosynthesis and respiration, they are reverse of each other. Thank you.